You're standing in a quiet room early in the morning. The air is still slightly cold, the kind that clings to your skin for a few seconds before you fully wake up. You take one step forward and notice something small but unsettling. Your body doesn't respond instantly anymore. It catches up a fraction of a second late, like a system loading slower than it used to. Your knees feel heavier than they should. Your back takes a moment to agree with movement. And for a brief moment, a thought appears without permission. Is this what aging actually feels like starting now? Not dramatic pain, not illness, just a quiet reduction in responsiveness, a delay in biology. And that is where most people misunderstand aging completely. It doesn't begin with breakdown. It begins with reduced communication. Because inside your body, well, nothing is truly passive. Every system is listening. Every cell is responding. Every tissue is constantly adjusting to signals you send through movement, rest, stress, and repetition. Aging at its core is not time passing through you. It is your body adapting to the signals it believes are most consistent. So the real question is not how to stop aging. That's not how biology works. The real question is, what if certain types of exercise don't just improve fitness, but actually send younger biological instructions to your cells? Not metaphorically, mechanically. Because research suggests your body doesn't respond to exercise as a single concept. It responds to different types of physical stress as completely different biological languages. Each one changes mitochondria, hormones, inflammation levels, and even brain structure in distinct ways. And when you understand that, exercise stops being about burning calories. It becomes something much more precise, a control system for biological age. But here's where things get uncomfortable. Because most people already exercise. They walk occasionally, they try workouts, they push through routines, yet they still feel stiff, tired, or older than they expect, which raises a deeper question. What if the problem was never effort, but signal quality? Think of your body like a massive internal network. Your muscles are demand systems, your heart is a pressure regulator, your brain is a command center, and deep inside every cell, mitochondria act as energy engines, converting oxygen and nutrients into usable power. If those engines run efficiently, everything feels light. Movement feels natural, recovery is fast, fatigue is minimal. But when mitochondrial function declines, energy production becomes less efficient. You feel slower, heavier, less responsive. And this is where exercise becomes critical. Because exercise is one of the only tools that directly reshapes mitochondrial behavior, not just in theory, in measurable biology. Let's start with the simplest form, walking. It sounds almost too basic to matter, but that assumption is where most people get it wrong. Walking is not light exercise. It is a continuous biological signal. When you walk consistently, your muscles repeatedly demand low-level energy production. That demand forces mitochondria to operate steadily instead of sporadically. Over time, this improves mitochondrial efficiency. But there is something deeper happening. Walking also reduces chronic inflammation signaling. Inflammation is not inherently bad. It is a repair system. But when it remains slightly elevated for years, it accelerates aging at a cellular level. Walking helps regulate that baseline. It tells your immune system, no emergency right now. And when that signal becomes consistent, your body shifts away from constant low-level stress mode. Here's the strange part. Most people think exercise must feel intense to be effective. But for aging biology, consistency often matters more than intensity because mitochondria respond to repetition, not shock alone. But walking alone is not enough to fully reshape aging pathways. It stabilizes the system. It doesn't upgrade it dramatically. For that, we move to something more demanding: high-intensity interval training. Now your biology shifts dramatically. Short bursts of effort force rapid energy consumption. Oxygen demand spikes. Glucose is rapidly mobilized. Your system briefly enters a state it interprets as survival-level stress. And in response, Something remarkable happens inside your cells. Mitochondria begin adapting structurally. Research suggests high-intensity intervals trigger mitochondrial biogenesis. That means your cells don't just improve efficiency, they increase the number of mitochondria available. More energy engines, not just better fuel usage, but here's the internal tension. At the moment of intensity, your body doesn't know it's exercise. It interprets it as challenge, and your mind often resists that feeling. The urge to slow down appears quickly. This is where adaptation begins. Because biological change only happens when demand slightly exceeds comfort, not destruction, but pressure. And then there is strength training. This is where aging shifts from energy systems to structure itself. When you apply resistance to muscles, you are not just creating mechanical strain, you are sending a preservation signal, a message that says, this tissue is necessary. Muscle tissue responds by increasing protein synthesis, repairing micro damage, and becoming more metabolically active over time. But muscle is not just movement tissue. It is an endocrine organ. It releases chemical messengers that influence fat metabolism, insulin sensitivity, and inflammation regulation. Which means every resistance session is not just physical shaping, it is hormonal recalibration. And here's something most people miss. Muscle loss is one of the strongest biological indicators of aging acceleration, not because muscle defines appearance, but because it reflects systemic metabolic health. Less muscle means weaker glucose control, reduced mobility, and lower mitochondrial demand. So preserving it is not cosmetic, it is structural aging prevention. Now we move deeper into the system. Balance and coordination training. This might seem minor compared to strength or endurance, but neurologically it is essential. Every small adjustment your body makes to maintain balance activates neural circuits responsible for spatial awareness, reflex control, and motor precision. These circuits are part of the brain's aging-sensitive regions. When they decline, cognitive decline often follows, because the brain does not separate movement from thinking. Once they are integrated systems, and maintaining coordination keeps those neural pathways active and adaptive. Then comes something often ignored completely: recovery-based movement, slow walking, stretching, gentle mobility. This is where your nervous system shifts from activation mode into repair mode. Heart rate lowers, muscle tension reduces, cellular repair pathways become more active, because adaptation does not happen during stress, it happens after it. Without recovery, exercise becomes accumulation of fatigue instead of biological improvement. Now step back and look at the full system. Walking stabilizes inflammation and mitochondrial baseline efficiency. Intervals increase mitochondrial capacity and energy output. Strength training preserves muscle and hormonal signaling. Balance training protects neurological function. Recovery training allows repair and integration. Each one sends a different biological instruction. But here's the myth that needs to be addressed clearly. Many people believe aging can be reversed like a switch, but biology does not operate in switches. It operates in feedback loops. Your liver detoxifies constantly. Your heart adapts constantly. Your brain rewires constantly. Your mitochondria adjust constantly. Exercise does not reverse aging instantly. It shifts the direction of ongoing adaptation. There is also a limitation that matters. More exercise is not automatically better. Without recovery, stress hormones remain elevated. Sleep quality decreases. Inflammation can rise instead of fall. The same system that builds resilience can also be pushed into fatigue if signals are unbalanced. So the goal is not maximum effort. It is consistent, intelligent signaling. And when you zoom out far enough, something becomes clear. Aging is not a single process. It is a collection of systems responding to repeated patterns. And your body is not resisting you. It is responding to you. Precisely. Continuously. Your mitochondria respond to demand, your muscles respond to resistance, your brain responds to coordination, your immune system responds to movement and rest cycles, and all of it is constantly updating based on what you do most often, which leads to the real insight behind everything here. You are not trying to fight aging. That framing is misleading. You are training your biology to maintain a younger operating pattern through repeated physical signals, and that means the most important factor is not intensity, it is consistency over time. Because biology does not adapt to what you do once, it adapts to what you repeat. So the real transformation does not happen in a single workout. It happens in the pattern you build across days, weeks, and months. And eventually, something subtle begins to change. Movement feels less like effort. Recovery feels faster. Energy feels more available. Not because aging stopped, but because your biological systems are functioning with better communication again. And that was always the real issue. Not breakdown, not failure, just signal quality. You are not broken. Your body is not ignoring you. It is responding exactly to the instructions it has been receiving. And if those instructions change, so does everything else.